Welcome to the show. This is the show.
And I'm trying to get as comfortable as possible because this is new and this is the show.
Sniff. Swahriani. So see Eve. And this is the show. What's on my agenda? What is actually on my agenda this episode? What's on my agenda? What's on my agenda is super teams when it comes to sports in general. Super teams, I guess you can say, I guess you can argue for that matter, that it's bad for whatever league, for whatever sport it is. And if you have that opinion, if you feel that way, I'm just gonna say you probably support teams that are losers. You probably support teams that don't have the opportunity to become a super team, or you just, for whatever reason, you got something, there's something that's deep down inside that's just saying that I must feel bad, I must be sad, I must be mad when it comes to supporting my franchise, supporting my team, being a fan of a sport, being a fan of a team. And if you can't get down with a super team or have some kind of respect for a super team, then you must like a bad team. You must like teams that will not challenge, will not compete, because a super team, it is super by definition. Now, at first, I had my feelings about a super team, but then I realized that I've pretty much been supporting a super team all my life. One of the teams that I grew up loving, liking, was a super team. Was it a super team by design? Sorta. Was it a super team because they won a lot? Sure. Did they win championships? Yeah. Did they win multiple championships after championships after championships? You betcha. Did I not like that? No. Did other fans from other teams didn't like that and they formed some kind of agenda? And there we are. Agenda. Full circle, baby. Full circle. Yeah. Agenda about a super team. Now, I get it. They're super teams. They make you feel some kind of way. You either tuning in because you're gonna get some kind of magic, you're gonna get some kind of greatness from the super team, or you're tuning in to the super team because it's something that you don't like. It is something that you hate. And yes, I say hate. And that's hate in the sense of not liking, and not hate in the sense of hate. There's a difference. There is a difference. And I'm not going to tell you the difference. I'm just gonna say, please be honest, be truthful, and stop telling tales about super teams. Now, if you had an opportunity to form a super team to win, would you do it? Hold that thought. Now, the thing about super teams, or a couple of things about super teams, certain leagues, certain sports, it just won't work. It just will not work. I take hockey for instance. Super team, it may or may not work, but you're coming down to the luck of the puck. You're coming down to puck luck. if you got puck luck, you got a hot goalie, a goalie that can keep the puck out of the net, and you can score here or there, you can ride that magic. You can ride that magic into a trophy, Lord Stanley's Cup. It can happen. Basketball, it happens more often than not. You form a super team, the super team is more likely gonna win unless you win over 72 games. If you win over a certain amount of games and you don't win the NBA championship, if you win over a certain amount of games and you don't come close to winning, or if you make it to the end and don't win, it's happened before with a super team. So a super team doesn't necessarily guarantees victory. A super team doesn't necessarily say that this team is going to win. It depends on the sport, and it actually depends on actually playing the game. You can't just line up on paper and say that this team is going to win. Some sports you probably can do that, but most sports I'm going to say you can't do that. That's the reason you play the game. However, there are times where it just happens. It just happens because there's something that's called variance. It's just a luck. If you believe in luck. Because some people believe you create your own luck. If that's the case, hey, I salute you, and I'm saluting you even though my hand is not up in the air and I'm actually doing it. No, I just salute you because everybody can't think the same way, and if you wish to think that, go right ahead. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to say a word to you about that. I'm just going to say my agenda on super teams is this.
If you don't like a super team, if you don't want a super team, it's probably because your team never became a super team. Your team hasn't come close to being a super team. Or it just might not happen. It's just,
if you don't like a super team, if you don't want a super team, it's probably because your team never became a super team. Your team hasn't come close to being a super team, or it just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Basketball, baseball, football, soccer, and yeah, I said football twice because I had to differentiate the two kinds of football. Forming a super team in football, can it happen? Sure. Has it happened? Yeah, sorta. Can you win, or are you more likely to win with a super team in football? Not really. Do I have numbers and receipts to back all of this up? No. Am I just saying something to say something? No. But this is my agenda on super teams. My agenda on super teams. And it is what it is. Now, let's get down to a little bit more nuts and bolts of this whole super team argument. I would, if I could, go sport by sport, team by team, moment by moment, instant by instant. But if I did that, that would be something else that keep me up at night. And right now, the only thing that keeps me up at night concerning the super teams, that is, concerning the super team, that is, if we never have a super team again, if there's never ever a super team again, then that's a problem for me. That is a huge problem for me, because that means that they won. The haters, the people that dislike super teams, the people that don't believe a super team is worthwhile, the people that just actively lie about super teams, then that means they won. That means they won. And I have to do everything in my power to prevent that from happening. And that's why that is something that will keep me up at night. And that is definitely keeping me up at night. But one day, one moment, one instant, one time, I will get some sleep.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.